Yeah, so we got a question coming in from our guy Brian, who says, H1H, what are your thoughts about the linebackers this spring? I think they can be better than expected. They were extremely undercoached and developed the last few years.
You know, thank you so much, Brian, for your question. Number one, I think what you bring up is a valid point. It's not an excuse. It's a valid point. They have been underdeveloped and under recruited at linebacker and at corner. Marcus, the two positions we talked about. Offensive line would have been a third one on there, but now I don't have to worry about offensive line for probably the next decade. And I wouldn't be surprised if Miami doesn't have a couple top 10 picks in there with the way that Coach Cristobal and Coach Mirabal and Coach Pata and Coach Bain really go into offensive line. I watched the drills, and what I like about what I'm seeing is the specificity of certain coaches. Let me get a little bit more in depth as to what I'm saying. Talked about earlier how Coach Joe Salavea is coaching the interior defensive line. Coach Wright and Coach Taylor are coaching the edge. You're getting the same thing at linebacker. Okay. You got a middle linebacker coach and Coach Charlie Strong and the outside linebackers coach and Coach Kevin Steele. Now, by title, none of that really. You have your D line coach, you have your edge coach, you have linebacker, you have your DC. But the way that we're running practice, they're splitting up into different groups, going to different coaches who specialize in certain positions, who can really help you grow and really help you develop on the little minuscule things to make you better because that's their specificity. Coach Charlie Strong working with the inside linebackers and guys who are cross trained. So, for example, one of the films that we watched was going over the board drills. Okay. And one of the biggest things that we see, we got two commits tonight, Washington brothers. Yes. Huh, okay. I'll tap into that when I tap into that. You know when you go to the combine, Mark, and you have those pads, and you start out in the middle, and you bust your feet, blah 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 blah. You got to go over the bags and stay up, stay on your toes as you're going through the bags. So the first thing you do is you get to get a right or a left call from your coach, and as they're going through the bags, the key is to tap and go, tap and go, tap and go, tap and go, tap and go. What it's teaching you is the importance of never really letting your heels touch the floor and you're playing on your toes. It's a big linebacker drill. Some defensive line coaches like to do it also just to kind of warm you up, but it's really about linebackers. And so I'm watching some of our guys go through these drills, and you see them like stepping so hard. Boom, 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 boom. And you could tell that maybe that was the emphasis before. Let me see you look like you're trying and you're straining. It's not really about that. It's about the technique. Do you get what this drill is trying to teach you? You going through this drill with the grunts and that's not football. Okay, I get it. I see you trying hard, and you see Coach Charlie Strong. He's not a yeller, so he pulls the young man aside on a one-on-one. Hey, watch this guy go through the drill. This is how I want you to do it. On your toes, on your toes. They still don't get it right. He puts the paper down and he gets in there. This is how I want you to stand. This is how you 50, 60 years old. This is how I want you to do. Toes, toes, toes. He still got it. Because what it's teaching them is the understanding that you're losing all those little minuscule seconds when your full foot hits the ground. Because technically, the art of running is when your whole foot is not on the ground. It's your toes that are tapping. When it comes to track runners, they never allow their whole foot to touch the ground. It's always the balls of their feet, which is really what you're on. You're not technically on your toes. We're not Michael Jackson thing, okay? But you're keeping the weight on the balls of your feet so that you can react faster. You can react, boom, 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 in and out. But what I love about that is, Mark, they're teaching. We're not just yelling at young men. We're not screaming at them. We're not demeaning them. We're coaching them hard. But after we've taught this, and when it comes to teaching, Mark, it doesn't matter how many times you got to go through it. we're gonna do it enough until you don't get it wrong. Not until you get it right, then go, hey, we got it. No, 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 no. Until you don't get it wrong. So it's about 6 minutes or so of just this one drill. Now, to the regular eye, they're like, man, can you show me something else? But to trained eyes, you could really see the big difference between what we were doing before and what we're doing now. And the fact that they're taking the time to really teach these young men the right thing. Even a guy like Corey Flagg looked way better after he was talked to, Mark. Not screamed at, no, you suck, throwing the tech. No, 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 no. Hey, stay on your toes, stay on your toes. This is how I want you to do it. One of the guys that stood out in that drill was Wayman Steele. Another guy that stood out in that drill, Tyreek Austin Cave, number 18. They looked real fluid. Then you saw guys who were kind of, your walk-ons who are trying hard, and they got coached up too. Then you also saw guys who were, overemphasizing the boom, 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 and slapping the pad and kind of all out of whack. I'm not going to really go into those guys. I don't want to disrespect them, but they still have a lot of coaching and a lot of growth to come from. So I really saw a lot of that. And it's going to take time to fill the young men's minds with the proper way of how to articulate your message, because a lot of people get screaming and yelling misconstrued with hard coaching. No, it's no need for me to do all of that until I know for a fact that you know how to do this. And I feel as though maybe you're being lazy or maybe you're not paying attention. That's something separate. You as a parent understand that, but I'm really excited. Sorry to go too far on
Oh, you're
that, but
good.
it's personal because I've seen it, I've dealt with it, and when it comes to these young men, they're at such an important time where if they see you react the right way, as far as how to talk to them with the respect between each other, not to demean them. I'm the old person, you listen to me. No, 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 no. No, not how you're supposed to do it. Let me teach you, educate you, correct your mistakes. We'll go over it in the film again if you're still doing it wrong. But I see some of the things you're doing wrong, and I really want to help you get better. So a guy that I saw really starting to take some strides and get better, number 11, Corey Flagg. Excited to see the growth that could keep coming from that young man.